All right, what's up, YouTube? Today we're here to talk about the overlooked issues of XenoVerse 2. By we, I am Digital.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Toshiro386 here.
What's good, y'all? It's Mr. Freeman.
And today we're here to talk about, like I just said, the overlooked issues of XenoVerse 2. Okay, so we are putting out this video a little bit late because we were dealing with other issues with videos and stuff like that. And so we know that this video is pretty late, depending, like, you know, based off of when the trailer itself at first came out for XenoVerse 2. And we're still here just to give our opinions on some of the issues that are overlooked with the XenoVerse 2 trailer itself. Now, when we saw the XenoVerse 2 trailer ourselves, we saw that a lot of you were excited for it, which isn't a bad thing. That's pretty cool. But the thing is that I saw a couple of issues right off the rip that I could see being a problem in the future. And the reason I'm doing these overlooked issues while we're doing these overlooked issues is because we're just looking out for the betterment of you all, so you all won't be, you know, having the same problems or issues that happened with XenoVerse 1. You know, a lot of people were very excited, but then a lot of people were disappointed as soon as they got their hands on the game because there were a lot of stipulations that caused the game to suck. So anyways, we're just here to give our little opinion, or yeah, our opinion based off of what we've seen with the overlooked issues. So for number one is the time of development. So we already know that XenoVerse 1 that came out last February, which was February of 2015, and the DLC for XenoVerse didn't end until around, I want to say, June or May of 2015. So this game has only been in a year of development, and I feel like it's too soon. And then at the same time, it's coming out this year, this winter 2016, if you all don't know. And so I feel like in order to get the issues corrected that they had in XenoVerse 2, they would have to at least use a little bit more time. Now, don't get me wrong, they do have the foundation of XenoVerse and its playstyle from XenoVerse 1, so it probably doesn't take that much development time. But I feel like with the issues that were in XenoVerse 1 and some of the fixes that would need to be made, I feel like it would take at least 2 years of development plus more. You know, maybe like 2 years and a couple of months. Maybe not like 6 to 7, 8 months, but like at least like 2 years and 2 months, 3 months, something like around that number. And I just feel like with the time of development, it's just a little bit too quick in order for them to push out a new game when we just had finished playing the first one just like, you know, just these past couple of months ago before 2016 had hit. So Krillin, Mr. Freeman, how do y'all feel about the development time of XenoVerse 2 and how fast it's coming out?
Personally, I feel like maybe it was rushed, perhaps. And, you know, for example, and I know it's like comparing apples and oranges, but I just want to give two good examples. Probably one, actually, that a lot of people are more familiar with. Now, to those of you that grew up playing Sonic, for example, Sonic 06 is considered one of the worst games due to its development, meaning it was heavily rushed, therefore being one of the worst Sonic games in the entire franchise, at least said by fans.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, in a way, should that not be considered like a warning what could happen if y'all rush the development? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Dragon Ball Z is not that complex. However, I feel like it deserves the time that it deserves. I mean, Mortal Kombat, for example, didn't even have that much to fix. However, they took 4 years of development. I mean, the more time, the better. Because, like you said, with XenoVerse having as many issues as it did, it just doesn't add up. So that's really all I have to say about the time and whatnot.
All right, Mr. Freeman, how do you feel?
Well, the time is a really big factor when it comes to development, especially with DVD games, because I think BT2 and BT3 had like in between 2 years of each other for their release, I want to say. Yeah,
because Tenkaichi 2 came out 2005 and Tenkaichi 3 came out 2007, so yeah, at least 2 years.
So like, I really don't think like none of the problems that were in XenoVerse 1, they couldn't have gotten fixed in a year of development. No, it's going to play the exact same. Everything's going to be the same. There's still going to be the same amount of problems.
Right.
And it's still going to be trash. That's all I got to say about the time. It's going to be trash because they didn't take enough time like out of the development to even make sure that everything was fixed. It's still going to be trash.
Right. And, you know, like we said, we're not trying to persuade y'all or force our opinion upon y'all to change, you know, your excitement or your you know, you wanting to get XenoVerse 2. I mean, if you still do, that's fine. We're just
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can do what you want to do. That's fine. Think what you want to think. It's all good.
Like, all we're saying is that just take these issues into account first before you make your final decision on getting the game.
You know, pay that $60.
Exactly.
That we already paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, one more thing I want to add real quick, actually.
Go ahead.
Because keep in mind, you know, when we first saw XenoVerse 1, I mean, we were all kind of under the same impression a lot of people might be right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like we're giving sort of the perfect example. And the way I see it is, y'all, like, as, you know, my two friends here said, you know, we're not trying to force our opinion. It's just keep in mind, we didn't have anybody looking out for us when we heard about XenoVerse 1.
Right. And then there were also people who played, you know, later builds of the game before we even got the chance. Like, some people had the game early, and there wasn't anybody to tell us that, okay, here's some of the, you know, problems that are, you know, occurring in Xenoverse at the moment, and be wary of these problems that's going on. All we're trying to do, like I said before, is just trying to keep you aware of some of the problems that may entail with this game. Now, we haven't played it, and we haven't even seen any gameplay of it, but just based off of the trailer alone, there are some things that I can see that there may be problems with later on in the future that, you know, will be repeated like Xenoverse 1 had in its development time, and, you know, as time went on and they were releasing trailers for it. Now, to get on to the next topic, one of the other issues that we had saw was and they basically had another Toki City. And if you all didn't know this, Toki City in Xenoverse 1 was the main reason as to why, you know, people were falling out of combos, and sometimes combos didn't land. And even though you heard the hit bite, in order for, like, when you punch somebody, they didn't phase, or they weren't phased by it at all, nor did they take damage from it. It was because Toki City had so many people on the servers that it was too much. You basically had an MMO RPG style lobby, but you had peer-to-peer connection like a normal, you know, online game that has a linear, you know, type of story and stuff like that. So you basically tried to combine two different gaming elements into one, and it caused the online to suck pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure now, with looking at this Toki type city that we are seeing in Xenoverse 2, at least in the trailer, it looks a lot bigger than Toki City does. And it seems as if there's a lot of more things, you know, going on within this Toki City. Don't get me wrong, it's on next gen, but at the same time, it can still suffer the same consequences that Xenoverse 1's servers did, even though they had, you know, put up a lot of more servers along the days and months that passed when Xenoverse 1 was going through its, you know, first little couple of months of, you know, trial and error with the online servers. And I just don't be one of the main factors that happens in Xenoverse 2. Now, I'm still at the decision that I'm not going to get it. So hopefully you all are wary of this. You know, maybe just be wary of the fact that Toki City, with there being another one, this may cause issues once again with the online connection and, you know, hit detection and hit confirms and stuff like that within Xenoverse 2. Now, you know, Krillin, Mr. Freeman, how do you all feel about, you know, this whole new Toki City?
First off, I feel like it's really just going to be Xenoverse 1 all over again, except a little bit worse. Because with the new Toki City, you're not just running around, you're flying. That's obviously more shit. And the way I see it is, now look, before anybody says, well, you know, how does the Toki City have anything to do with connection because it's a lobby and not PvP? Keep in mind, a server requires internet, therefore it's just putting a lot of weight on it, you know?
Yeah.
And basically, that was the issue with Xenoverse 1. Now, personally, I don't even think we need a lobby for a fucking Dragon Ball Z game. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to see everybody else's character, but you can see them whenever you putting a 30-piece combo on them. The way I see it, you know what I'm saying, like the old phrase goes, see me with them hands. And,
True.
It's like, the way I see it is that, I mean, we survived without a lobby in Raging Blast 1, 2, Budokai, all the Budokais, and, you know, the rest of them. We just don't need it. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like dead weight, and, you know, dead weight meaning two things. One, not needed. Two, is hurting the servers. And the way I see it is, I'm trying to see the best player versus player shit I could see, especially with this being next gen only. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Mr. Freeman, how do you feel?
Pretty much like everything y'all said, because with Toki City being bigger, it's bound to have more problems. Like, I'm not saying like that it actually will, but there's a good chance that it's going to be, considering what happened with Xenoverse 1. Because yeah, everybody's running around, everybody's flying and stuff like that. So with you doing more things, that means that could cause more problems for the servers. And Xenoverse 2 could probably, you know, end up selling a lot. Maybe it will sell a lot, and then all those people are going to be on those same servers, and it still can mess the online up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You can still fall through your combos. You can still probably get hit by frames, like this and that and the other. It's just It's too much. Like this game is just bro. Like continue. It's just my opinion, y'all. Like I said, personally, I'm not getting it. You know, maybe they'll possibly, and I do mean possibly, blow us away. But like we said, there's just some problems in there that we can see up in there, and I'm gonna just pray for y'all. That's all I gotta say. Go ahead and use that $60 on that game. If y'all
One thing I wanna just say real quick, you know, like to those of you that watch this video, definitely if you really can, man, take what we say into consideration. However, if you say like, oh, I still like XenoVerse, I'd say try it out. But if you're really determined to see what XenoVerse is gonna be, I'd say rent it. I mean, because let's say you pay $60 for it for one. If you pay $60, you're not gonna get your $60 back. Plain and simple.
That's what I'm saying. I already paid $60 for XenoVerse 1. I'm not paying it again for XenoVerse 2, just in case it ends up being like exactly like how we're
the same
talking about it. Yeah. Like, no, I'd be pissed off. I'm not wasting another $60. I'm good. Plus, like, how much was that DLC? Like all three of them, like 25?
20. I think it was like $24.99 or something like that. I think.
See, no, I'm not doing that again.
And see, and here's one of the major issues with Toki City. A lot of you are saying, well, that was probably because they had, they probably just, it had to be set back because of the fact that they had to, they had, PS3 and Xbox 360 users on servers as well. And so they had to dial back a lot of the technology that they would be able to incorporate into the servers. But here's the thing. It's like taking one step forward and taking one step back, because in XenoVerse 2, they're only going to be needing to focus on next gen only and PC title, or the PC console and the PS4 and Xbox One console. And yeah, it's gonna, if they were to use the same concept of Toki City like they did with XenoVerse 1 and only apply it to, like, the PS4 and Xbox One and PC, that's less people that they would have to atone for, or like, less consoles that they would have to work with in order to make the service, stable. But here's the thing. You consider, the thing is that they're including extra shit. So now you got, like, I think like most of the shops are in one specific area based off the trailer, like based off the beginning of the trailer. Like I seen like some of the stands and stuff like that where they had certain things being sold and stuff like they did in XenoVerse 1. And I feel like, with the flying and everything else like that, it's just gonna have more people in Toki City just dicking around. Like, and nobody's really gonna be doing anything, because really nobody was doing anything at first on XenoVerse 1 servers instead of just standing there showing off and doing nothing. And I feel like now when you create a flying mechanic and stuff like that, you're gonna have the same amount of problems with XenoVerse 1 that you did with you're gonna have the same problems with XenoVerse 2 that you have with 1. So yeah, you probably have less servers to focus on, and since you're working on a more powerful engine, you can incorporate more servers and stuff like that and more power. But it's like you're adding on to it, so you're basically taking one step forward and one step back, just like with XenoVerse 1. You're basically creating another XenoVerse 1 type of server with doing all this extra stuff and adding all that extra weight upon the servers. But I mean, like I said, these are just looking right as of right now with the trailer and everything. This is kind of the way that it seems as if it's going. And so, moving on into the next topic, there's the problem of the reused story. So XenoVerse 1 took you through the main story, and you just were inside of the story, and you partook in it from all the way from Raditz all the way down to Beerus, and then the extra saga with Demigra where you had to fight him in XenoVerse Trunks when he was influenced by him. And I feel like what else can you do to make the story more unique besides, you got Turles, Dodoria, Slug, and probably other movie characters within the game, but overall 9 times out of 10 the story is still going to be the same. I don't feel like there's going to be anything different that you can incorporate. I still saw scenes from XenoVerse 1, like Nappa and Vegeta going, Demigra influenced, and then Frieza as well and stuff like that. Like, I feel like the story is going to still be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is the extra added characters that you're incorporated into the story, to where you can create extra missions. So now, instead of just progressing through the Frieza saga and fighting Frieza soldiers and the Ginyu Force and Frieza himself, now you can fight alongside Dodoria. Now you can fight against Dodoria and Zarbon, but what the big difference is that going to make within the story that was different from the first one? Then, of course, you got the movie characters, but who's to say how many movie characters we're going to have? Now, I'm pretty sure with them having Turles and Slug in the game, we'll probably see a whole bunch of other movie characters, such as, maybe a boss fight with Dr. Willow, Broly, Bojack, and them, and who knows, But I'm just saying, like, the story won't be that much more unique And that will lead us into the next topic, but I'm gonna let Mr. Freeman and Krillin get their points out about the reused story before we head into the next topic. So, Krillin, Mr. Freeman, how do y'all feel about this story, the reused story, or if the story is going to be reused, how do you feel about it?
Personally, I feel like we're just gonna get hit with the same shit from XenoVerse. Don't get me wrong, I feel like it's good that they're adding these movie characters. That's what's up. You know, I can really respect that.
Yeah.
However, you know, you're gonna add in these couple boss fights. I mean, for example, the Lord Slug. We can fight off some Frieza soldiers because you already know they're gonna give him his own soldiers, like how they were in the movie.
Right.
Frieza soldiers. And alongside Kid Gohan and Piccolo, and you fight that one fat motherfucker and that ugly other motherfucker. Like, they just gonna fight Lord Slug, then he gonna go like Demigrid influence, and then go Giant. How much y'all want to bet I'm right? Like seriously, like Roxas Digital, how much y'all want to bet I'm right? Like, just saying.
Like,
the thing is that we might not even fight Slug before Demigrid influence. We may just pop into the story. Oh, Slug's Demigrid influence, and then as soon as we beat him, he goes Giant. That's it. I feel like that's gonna be the same wishy-washy, you know, like, you know, playthrough with most of the fights that are going to be new, such as, you know, the fight against Turles. Like we probably might fight against Turles in his grade A form, but like that's a reach. But you know, I mean, I just feel like I do agree with that notion that they're going to be pretty much, you know, just the same old bullshit over and over again. But I mean, that's just, you know, that's just speculation. We're not saying that is what's going to happen, but we already know how XenoVerse 1 was, and you know, we can pretty much infer. I mean, not infer, but we can pretty much come to a conclusion how XenoVerse 2 would be. But anyways, you know, Chris.
Hey, but what I was saying was, is basically all I'm saying is I feel like it's basically just reused material. I understand, you know, like the whole Dragon Ball Z story has been used over and over again in Dragon Ball Z games. However, they just sort of add their own flavor to it, you know?
Yeah.
In XenoVerse, it's like, shit, whatever, what else y'all got, you know? Oh, well, instead of Demigrid has like an evil kid who does the same shit. Like, it's still the same shit, guy.
Exactly.
I'm just like, I feel like it was nice seeing them go even more villainous, but at the same time, you know, they could make it so much more interesting. There's so many ways that they could go about it, and I just hate to see that they're doing the same shit again. Like, I like how with the DLC, for example, you know, you fight you. What if in XenoVerse 1 you fight your previous character, you know, the original Time Patroller, and it's all your data, like, of how you used to fight, so it'll actually be a challenge. Like, there's so many things they could do, but it's sad to see them go down the same route. I feel like we're just doing the same thing over again. You're helping Trunks out, and, well, we must defeat this character, but where Trunks do?
Right.
It's gonna be the same shit over again. I'm sorry, but that is the reality of it. Anyway, Rox.
Well, really, with the whole like story thing, what all could they do? Like,
right.
You know, I mean, I understand like Demigrid's influence is still around and everything, but it's like everything looks. XenoVerse 2 looks the exact same as XenoVerse 1. So what all could they change?
Right.
What all could they add to it? Like, yeah, maybe we could fight some super powered mirror or something like that. But what could they change? And don't sit up and try to tell us about the whole, ooh, maybe we could save future Gohan and stuff like that. Because no, either way, everything's gonna end up the exact same. Like, because Digital, he told us that he's been seeing comments about that, talking about someone, yeah, what if we could save future Gohan if that future Trunks goes with him instead anyway? Well, if they defeat that Trunks in that timeline before Trunks even goes back, Trunks, he's not going to need a reason to go back. It's going to be an infinite loop. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the next topic that we're going to be getting into right there. So exactly like what Mr. Freeman said. So now we're in the next topic, which is people overthinking the changing of the DBZ history. So like Mr. Freeman said, the trailer basically said that, you know, that you will be able to change events in the way that you want, or something of that sort. You know, most people have been taking it as, okay, we'll be able to change the Dragon Ball Z history. Keep in mind, XenoVerse 1 did the same thing. What happened? All we did was the story of event was changed a little bit. Case in point, Cell, when he was doing his, you know, Kamehameha against Gohan, he basically got Demigrid influence, and then he just destroyed Gohan. And that wasn't even the actual change. That was just what would happen if the history was changed. And we went to before that point in time when Gohan and Cell did their Kamehameha, struggle, and we just stopped that event from happening. Now here's the thing. Now I'm gonna go into real serious mode about this because this kind of irritated me a little bit, and it really didn't irritate me, but it was just like, how can y'all be that kind of that dense about this? And so here's the thing. There isn't really gonna be shit that's gonna change with this storyline that you're going to be able to change. Because here's the point. If we can change the time, like some people were saying, okay, what if we go to the point where future Trunks and future Gohan, what if we save future Gohan from dying? Then if they do that, then with them both being able to fight against the androids, they would have been able to defeat them. They saw that future Gohan was going to be able to defeat the androids, or at least one of them by themselves. I think it was 18, and 17 decided to jump in, or vice versa. And then they decided to jump him and defeat him. If Trunks is there and we alter that timeline, let's say, okay, now future Trunks and future Gohan, now they both fighting 17 and 18, and future Trunks mastered, Super Saiyan. If future Gohan and future Trunks were to defeat androids 17 and 18, he wouldn't have no reason to go back into the past, because his future has already been basically fixed, because that was the whole reason for him coming back into the past anyway, was to gain enough power to defeat the androids of his time. It just got altered because Dr. Gero and Android 19 showed up. So if future Trunks and future Gohan defeated the androids of their time, they would have no reason to come back in time and to defeat the androids, or to gain enough power to defeat the androids. Then guess what? XenoVerse Trunks wouldn't even be able to exist, and this whole point of the XenoVerse 2 thing that we're doing wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. Because the only reason why Trunks is is working with the Supreme Kai of Time was because he went back and changed the events. And when he came back into his future and he lived the rest of his life throughout the future without, future Gohan and the rest of his people, and he was just him and his mom, the Supreme Kai of Time came and told him, well, you have to, make amends for what you did with the time. And so now that's why he's working with the Supreme Kai of Time in XenoVerse 1 and 2. They explained that pretty much in XenoVerse 1. And so I'm just like, okay, if Trunks does go and saves his timeline from being destroyed, what's the point of him going back? If that's the case, XenoVerse Saga Trunks would cease to exist, and then the Supreme Kai of Time and this whole point of XenoVerse 2 wouldn't even make a difference. The only thing that they're going to do with the whole Dragon Ball Z history change is this. They're gonna probably do it like some Naruto Storm 3 shit. And if you play Naruto Storm 3, or if you didn't, here's how it basically went. You could play the story out in a different scene. So let's say, okay, if you went with the normal difficulty, you will fight against this specific character. And if you went with the extra hard difficulty, you will fight against these groups of characters instead of just one. I feel like the thing that XenoVerse is going to do, XenoVerse 2, with the whole change in the history thing is, okay, I'm future Trunks. Do I team up with future Gohan to defeat the androids by we jump, like we 2v2? Or do I fight one android by myself and future Gohan fights one android by himself and we in a different location? And then I feel like if the history is changed because of that, guess what's gonna happen? Pretty much at the end of the fucking game, everything is gonna revert back to being normal. So future Gohan still dies, future Trunks goes back into time. It's not gonna be anything fucking different. Y'all are overthinking this too much. There's not going to be that much different changes within XenoVerse 2 in order to the point to where the story is going to sit up here and be that different. You're not going to be able to change time, and if you do, to the point where you alter the timeline in Dragon Ball Z, guess what? Everything is practically going to go back to being the same shit. In XenoVerse 2, in XenoVerse 1, that's what happened. That was the whole objective. The time was changed, but guess what? You went back and you fixed everything, and everything went back to normal. That's gonna be the same exact. That's gonna be the same thing.
Come on now, that's what we were fighting for in the first place, was XenoVerse 1.
Exactly.
Y'all over here thinking like this whole ooh, Trunks gonna save people. No, all of that is not gonna work, because like we said, Trunks wouldn't have any reason to go back to the original timeline in the first place. Y'all remember that mission in XenoVerse 1 in story mode when future Trunks was fighting 17 and 18 and they both got powerful as shit because of Demigod's influence, and they started beating Trunks' ass, and XenoVerse Trunks started disappearing. Exactly. That fool started disappearing because they was killing him. And now look, so what's gonna happen in XenoVerse 2 with XenoVerse Trunks being gone like that? He started season 2 exist because there was killing the other Trunks. Like, y'all get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because basically they was finna kill past, like, Trunks in the past, XenoVerse Trunks in the past, and he would have ceased to exist. Then there would have been no point. That's the exact thing that we're saying. Like, if future Trunks saves his timeline, then what's the point of him going back in time? And then if he doesn't go back in time, the Supreme Kai of Time would have no reason to go and get him, and for him to be a time patroller. There wouldn't be no point. That's the thing that we're telling y'all. There's not going to be that much of a difference. Now, if it is, I'll gladly hold that L by myself. Like, I'll gladly hold that L. But
That's what I'm saying.
as it stands right now, I do not believe that's going to happen. It's not. Not especially not with the game only being barely in a year of development. No, I refuse to.
What are y'all gonna change? Like, for real?
I refuse.
Be honest. Come on now.
Man, I already know exactly what I'm about to say.
Go ahead. What you
Go
got to
ahead,
say?
Krillin.
Man. All right. So now, as Digital said, personally, I agree with him. But however, I want to go into a little more depth. Now, think about it. Time patrol. What are you doing? Preserving exactly how time is supposed to flow. And
Exactly.
now, for example, best example and the easiest example. Now, when Raditz in Xenoverse 1 jumped out of the way and, killed Gohan, Goku, Piccolo, blah, 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 basically, that's a whole different fucking thing. That's like fucking up the entire timeline.
Exactly.
So Trunks is like, you have to go set things exactly how they are.
And then
So
guess what?
don't
And then
worry.
guess what? And then guess what? If that would have happened and you would have if that timeline would have changed, guess what? Vegeta would have never been evil. I mean, Vegeta would have still been evil. He would have never got with Bulma, and Trunks would have never been born. And there you go, no Xenoverse Trunks.
Exactly. Everything is gonna lead right back to Trunks.
Exactly. That's the main key point. He's the main person that y'all need to look at as to how this story is going to go. He plays a key pivotal role because of the simple fact that if time is altered so bad and you can make it that way, Trunks will cease to exist, or the story wouldn't just make no type of fucking sense at all. Now, anyways, Krillin, keep going. What was you saying?
No. Kind of threw me off a little bit, low key. But I think I got what I was saying. So basically, you guys, your job as a time patroller in Xenoverse is to keep time exactly. Put a little more emphasis on that one, just in case. Exactly how that shit is supposed to be. So with you guys saying, well, what if future Gohan stayed alive? No. See, Trunks or the Supreme Kai Time is not going to allow that. First off, no Supreme Kai Time, she gonna be on your ass about that shit.
Right.
Like, you let future Gohan stay alive, dumbass motherfucker. And then
True.
I mean, she ain't gonna let that shit slide. Okay,
At all.
knowing her. And then two, I mean, your job for one is to preserve the correct flow of time. I mean, I'm sorry, that shit ain't gonna happen. Now, am I saying I don't want future Gohan to live? No, future Gohan is awesome. But I'm not about to sit up and say, well, this could happen, this could... No, I'm sorry. Look, guys, at the end of the day, face the music and hear that shit, alright? I'm just saying. Anyway, Roxas.
I mean,
like,
but the whole thing, like, future Gohan was meant to die, and that's how Trunks became a Super Saiyan in the first place.
Exactly.
If he didn't, you wouldn't even be able to defeat the androids. Like, come on now, y'all. Like, it's not gonna happen. Everything needs to be the exact same.
Exactly.
Everything needs to happen the way it's supposed to happen. So either way, it's gonna be the same. Xenoverse 2 is gonna be the exact same as Xenoverse 1, but that's just my opinion.
Exactly, and that's all we're basically just saying. Like, these have been the overlooked issues with Xenoverse 2 that we at least have seen in the trailer. And, like we said, we are not trying to push our influence onto y'all. Don't go off of what we're saying just because, it's what we're saying. Like, form your own opinion and come to a conclusion for yourself. We're just saying, look at these key pivotal points that may set the game back to Xenoverse 1 standards before you sit up here and say, oh, I'm gonna go pre-order the game right now. Like, be weary, because the same thing happened to us last time with Xenoverse 1. We were super excited, we put 60 down, and by the time we got the game, after the first week, we were disappointed as hell. So, I mean, those are just some of the things that I would say at least watch out for. And to give you an overview of what the 4 things are: the time of development, another Toki City, a reused story, and overthinking the changing of the Dragon Ball Z history. Those are some of the key points that we want you all to look at when you're watching that trailer again, if you ever watch it again. But, I mean, any final words for the video?
Yo, definitely. As Digital said, you guys, we're not trying to force our opinion on you. So I just want to go ahead and say this. Now, to those of you, especially if you guys, to anybody that watches this as a subscriber of mine, you guys already know that most of the content on my channel was Xenoverse. Therefore, I mean, I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Xenoverse. I'm just saying that just be weary, because I mean, not just Xenoverse, a lot of games have been lacking lately. I mean, it's kind of only natural to be skeptical. I mean, aside that, being, like I said before, I could have swore I said this, when you're a consumer, you know, just somebody that buys stuff, you really gotta be smart, you know. I'm just saying, just really be cautious, you guys. Like, the trailer looks flashy and stuff, but keep in mind that's exactly how it was with XenoVerse 1, and I still feel like I got tricked into buying XenoVerse 1. So all I'm saying, you guys, is we're not trying to push our opinion on you. We're just telling you to be cautious, because at the end of the day, no one was able to give us this warning as for what could be happening like we are now, like what we're trying to do.
Right. Mr. Freeman, you got any last little word?
Well, yeah, all I have to say is be warned, because in my opinion, a DBZ game is supposed to last, alright?
Yeah.
Because BT3 lasted for me, like, for a long time, but, like, XenoVerse, in my opinion, I wasted my $80 because I haven't played XenoVerse in months. Like, literally months. So, all I have to say is I'm not wasting another $60. And if they have DLC, I'm not wasting money on that either. I'm just saying, y'all can do what y'all want to do. But, be warned.
Exactly.
That's it. Be warned.
Exactly. And so that wraps up this whole little video, people. We hope you all enjoyed the little commentary that we did. We know it was a little bit long, but hopefully you get the point with what we're trying to say. You know, just be cautious before you sit up here and jump on the bandwagon of, oh, I'm gonna go pre-order this game. You know, just be wary and watch out. And so I guess with that, we'll catch y'all next time in the next video. Peace out.